What's up, guys? It's your boy Josh Jacobs back at it again. Hope you're having a great day today and y'all living your best lives all day, every day. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and start by saying this is not gonna be like most of my other videos. It's not gonna be like my vlogs, all of my videos with my friends. It's not even gonna be like make life your own related stuff. No, this is probably going to be the most different, as well as one of possibly my most influential videos yet. Because with the election going on and with the pandemic going on, everything that's happened since the summer of 2020, it's just a lot. We're in quite a mess. We're in a pickle. I'll admit, we're in a lot of trouble. And we really need to step it up as both a country as well as a group of people who want to try and live their lives. We can't do that if all of this is going on. And as you can tell from the title, yes, we're about to go into this. Now, it's never been my intention. To get into politics or get into Trump or any government-related things. But given all the stuff that's going on, given all the political and other things going on, we can't ignore it. We really can't. So with that said, make sure you stay for the rest of this video. So with that said, make sure you guys go ahead, like, subscribe, comment. Actually, I'm going to take out the comments because, yeah, this is political, so I'm going to do that. And yeah, stay tuned because you are definitely going to want to listen to what I have to say 1 week before this coming election, before the election of 2020. Arguably the election that decides it all for America. first started writing my song Make Life Your Own and made this channel, I had a thought of speaking out my voice, voicing my opinion on how people worldwide should live life, and most importantly, how we need to live in a world without hate, discrimination, all of the bad things that have especially gone on during this year. I know that I am currently running a small channel, but I believe my voice should also be heard. Heck, every voice deserves to be heard, especially during these times, which is why, despite not being well known or having 1 million subscribers, I'm still gonna do this. I'm gonna be voting for the 2020 election, and I believe you should as well. Now I'm not gonna name names because then it's considered political. So I'm not gonna do that. But what I am going to do is use this video for another reason. This isn't a I endorse Biden type of video, or screw Trump type of video. It's not like that. No, this video is for you guys who are currently undecided or not even planning on voting. And if you are, let's put it this way. I kindly request a few minutes of your time. Now, first things first, I must say, if you think your vote doesn't matter, it does. Because looking back at the 2016 election, about 60% of eligible voters voted. 60%. So you're telling me 40% of you who could have voted didn't. Look, if it was because you're eligible, that's a different story. But if you could have voted, why didn't you? Were you unsure? Did you not care? I don't know, what's your story? But anyway, that's a conversation for a different day. Because today, we're not talking about the past. Instead, we're going to be talking about our future. Now, out of 42.5 million cases worldwide, about 225 died in the US alone. 225,000 died just in America. If you look at another historical event such as 9/11, if you look at 9/11, the death toll of 9/11 was about 2,997. Almost 3,000 people lost their lives that very day. And just because of a terrorist attack in which a plane crashed into a building. A plane crash. This is completely different. This is a disease, a sickness that is killing more than said 3,000 people. In fact, it's worldwide, and what makes it even more scary than that is that it's literally the same 3,000, but multiplied by 100 more. It literally is less than 2,000 or 250,000 dead innocent lives. There's no other way to think about this. If we acted when we could have, back in January or something, or even February or March, we could have been out of the situation a lot longer than this. We could have found a way to get out of this quicker. 200,000s. At most, we could have been maybe 1,000s or 2,000s. No, we are in 200,000s. Literally less than 250,000s. Like, we are a quarter away, no, 3/4 away from becoming 300,000 dead Americans. And that's just America. This is a worldwide thing. Literally, Europe, Asia, everyone is affected by this sickness. But we're not going to get into that. As specific for another video I'm planning later on. This is for America. And since we're already on topic of how this affects people based on the air and stuff, here's something else you should look at. Now, climate change is not as big as COVID, obviously, because, let's be honest, people are dying. I literally just said that in the previous segment. But even though it's not as relevant right now, we still do need to talk about it. Even though I live over here on the East Coast, it has been my dream to travel and live over in California. But with everything going on, like heat waves being more common, like less rainfall, California fires, need I go on? It just feels impossible for me to even consider a possible future living there. In fact, one of my roommates from college, or my freshman year, happens to be from California. And he's mentioned how life can be both good and bad. And obviously the bad part is, fires and stuff. Yeah. Now, part of this comes from all the waste that has been brought in due to a lot of pollution, due to too much waste in the air. Every little thing matters when it comes to taking care of our environment and taking care of our future. Like all these green planes you see and all the clear blue skies, that can go poof in like a few years from now. Just because a bunch of us didn't care to get rid of our pollution problem early on. We need to help our environment before it's too late. It's not a maybe. It's not a, okay, fine. It's that you better do it or else you will regret it later type of thing. Because it won't just be us who's affected, but our kids, their kids, and all of our future generations as well. Speaking of the coronavirus, you have to think about how we are literally facing a crisis where we are either just being screwed in terms of stock market or being screwed in terms of economics. But before even going into all of that, there is one that really deserves to be touched upon, even before any of that. And that's this. Now, there really shouldn't be too much time wasted with this because it's already self-explanatory for this topic because I need to get into other topics with my time permitted. But let's be honest. We are literally in a health crisis. There's literally nothing I can say about this except if there was ever a time we needed healthcare more than ever, it's now, during a pandemic. And like I said, I'm not going to name any names or choose any sides for you guys, but I will say, especially now, it's important to have healthcare to provide for you, your family, and just be able to have it so that you can not have a problem with having to spend a lot of money, having to get into debt, especially someone like me because I'm already in college debt, so I obviously can't handle having hospital bills that are like more than $1,000, so I can't do that. So this is definitely a time where we need to focus on our healthcare now more than ever during this pandemic. Like I said, I don't have a lot of time to talk because it's currently morning right now, so I have to get into a couple more topics, so let's just get into the good stuff. Racism. Now, I'm gonna be honest. I feel like I probably shouldn't get into this, but at the same time, there is one thing I do need to ask. Why? Why do we need to have to be living in a world where bad things happen to people of color? Why can't we all just live the same way? People like George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, I'm not going to get into that stuff because reasons, but the things that happen to them and others too, that should not happen. It's things like this, I don't know what to think, honestly. Like, I don't know to blame the police for that. I don't know what to say about the tear gas incident that went down. During a peaceful protest for a Black Lives Movement. Okay. Tear gassing a bunch of innocents who want to simply express how they feel about a certain situation. Like, that's just not cool. Let's just be honest. It's not cool. And it was for a peaceful protest for the Black Lives Matter movement, which is literally something that does need to be addressed. Like, it does need to be addressed publicly. And the whole tear gassing incident is stupid. Like, this is not the America our past generations fought for and founded. It's not even the America my family moved to. Heck, this isn't even the great country that we, as possible future leaders, feel obligated to lead. If this is what our country is like, unless we change this now. Okay, so long story short, I might have woken up my parents while recording this. So they went back to bed, but I just checked the time right now and it's apparently 5 a.m. So yeah, not only should I get sleep, I should not be doing this because if you haven't watched a couple of my previous videos, you should know by now that I kind of haven't told my parents about this channel yet. So that's a big move right there. But before I go, I'd like to give you a little last minute advice and last minute words of wisdom before November 3rd. To keep things short and simple, there are a lot of messes that we have made, and a lot of them we have at least made or contributed. There are a lot of problems that we as Americans have an obligation to stop. And while I shouldn't influence who you should vote for, I will say that you definitely should vote. For all of you undecided voters. Because this country is facing problems that one day will be too hard to handle. Coronavirus aside. We need your help to elect the leader who will help us deal with climate change. We need your help to choose the one who helps us give us health care and decides the right way to deal with racism. I just hope I've given you a lot to think about a week before the election. I hope I've given you a lot to think about, even if it's just these 4 small topics. And like I said, even though I could have gone into more detail or given you the other 10 items I was going to talk about earlier and planned out to talk to you, obviously I can't due to my personal reasons and time constraints. But yeah, long story short, I just hope that this really was an impactful thing for you because, let's be honest, election day is right around the corner and we have a bunch of stuff to deal with. Okay? You have 1 week left. 1 week to vote for who you want leading our country. 1 week left to choose who can stop all these terrible social issues happening right now. You have 1 week left to choose who you can trust. You have 1 week to choose who you can trust to get America out of this pandemic and help us live our lives again. 1 week to decide the future of our nation. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, do leave a like. I'm sorry I can't put any comments because obviously it's going to be political and stuff like that. I know it's going to be political, but do like this video. Share it if you want to share it. Obviously subscribe if you want to. And yeah, with that said, I will see you guys next time. Hopefully something a little more fun or not related to all of this. But yeah, anyways, see you guys next time, and